Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos and happy holidays to everybody. My name is Kris and I am one of the worship associates this evening along with Mimi Adams. Whoever you are, whoever you love, whatever your image of the holy, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time with us, we'd love to get to know you. Please sign the guest book in the foyer, or you can speak to Mike McNaughton or Anna Dillane, our co-chair of the membership committees, for more information, or you can always talk to Reverend Tina. For kids here, which there's none, but if they were, they could be here, or they could be with their parents, and they should whisper. We have our candle communities over here, and you're invited to write a joy or sorrow in the book anytime throughout the service. These joys and sorrows will not be read aloud in our service tonight as they normally are on Sundays. If you have any emergent pastoral care concerns over the holidays, please feel free to email our minister, Reverend Tina DeYoe. If you are in need of pastoral care support or even financial assistance with grocery cards or funds from the minister discretionary fund, please contact Reverend Tina. Our offering tonight will go to that fund. Please make sure that you have picked up a candle on your way in, as we will light these at the end of our service as we sing Silent Night. Everyone is invited to join us after the service in Fellowship Hall for a cookie reception. Please go ahead and silence your cell phones as we begin our worship service together.
Hello, happy holidays to everybody. Thanks. I am the Reverend Tina DeYoe. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the minister here at this congregation. And this is our call to worship time this evening. We gather in worship to find meaning and to live more deeply. Worship creates connections within, among, and beyond us, calling us to be our better selves, calling us to live with wisdom and compassion. For our Christmas Eve service tonight, we will be celebrating the sacred gifts we all can give to each other and receive from each other, not only during this holiday time, but throughout our lives. Sacred gifts, meaning those gifts that are worthy of awe and respect. What is a sacred gift you can give to people? And what is a sacred gift that you like receiving from people? If you can't answer that question right now, maybe you will be able to by the end of our service tonight. We also are honoring our Unitarian Universalist religious heritage that is rooted in Christianity. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition is now rooted in our shared values, and all of our differing religious beliefs are welcome here. Today we honor the celebration of the Christmas holiday, a holiday that many of us have celebrated throughout our lives with varying degrees of significance and emotions. Some of our hymns and carols tonight will use God language, so don't be alarmed. We are also inviting folks to participate in a Christian communion. So please take whatever meaning you need for your holiday season out of tonight's Christmas Eve service. Whoever you are, whatever you believe or don't believe, you are welcome here. So now we are going to light our flaming chalice, the symbol of our shared faith. And Mimi Adams is going to share our chalice lighting words. And Jody and Jamie are going to come up, our bigger kids, our bigger adult kids, are going to come up and light our chalice as Mimi reads these words.
Jody and Jamie are still babies. Let us light our chalice with these words from Howard Thurman, titled, "I Will Light the Candles This Christmas." I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of grace to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all year long.
So now we will light our Advent wreath candles. And this is our Advent wreath, and it is a traditional part of the celebration of Advent. It originated in its Christian form in Germany, but the practice of lighting candles in evergreen wreaths began in pagan cultures. Advent is a way to mark the exciting days leading up to Christmas. 4 candles are lit around the wreath, one each Sunday of Advent and one on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
The first Advent candle is the candle of hope. Hope is the motivating force that moves us through times of despair. Let us now light the candle of hope.
The second candle of the Advent wreath, represents peace. In this time of celebration, let us hold on to the ideal of peace. Even though wars rage around the world, and sometimes in our hearts, we recognize that peace arrives gently and to an open heart. Let us now light the candle of peace.
The third candle we light is for joy. Where do we find joy? In the season of sharing, may we find joy in the mundane, the monumental, the familiar, and the strange. Let us now light the candle of joy.
The fourth candle we light is for love. We are reminded this holiday season of how love is the source of compassion and warmth. This fourth Advent candle represents all we hold dear: our precious memories, our caring for one another, and our beautiful planet that sustains us. Love knows us, holds us, and nurtures us. Let us now light the candle of love.
The last candle we light tonight is the candle of life and light. In the Christian tradition, it is called the Christ candle, celebrating the birth of Jesus. We light this candle of life and light that we may always remember to be guided by that which brings us life and that which shines light into the darkness of our lives. Let us now light the candle of life and light.
And now let us rise in body and or spirit to sing our opening hymn, Joy to the World. You can have a seat. Please be seated. And now we would like to invite all the young and young at heart to come forward for our Time for All Ages story. Come on up.
Our Christmas Eve, no, okay. Our Christmas Eve offering goes to the Minister Discretionary Fund. This is a fund that Reverend Tina is able to use to help those here in our church community or the wider northern New Mexico region with immediate needs. Immediate needs could be a rent check because a family member was laid off, and the needs to find another job, or a check for groceries, or to help a family with moving or medical expenses. Members and friends of this congregation can go to Reverend Tina at any point and make a request of these funds for emergency situations that people might run into in their life. Please feel free to use the QR code for the Giveify app on the screen to make a donation and select the minister's discretionary fund. You can also donate to the church's general fund using the QR code. All cash and undesignated funds will go towards the minister's discretionary fund. May what you give bring you joy. Thank you for your generosity this evening. May these gifts help those in our community needing help in these difficult times.
me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, do you wonder as you watch my face if a wiser one should have had my place? But I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong. Help me be. Help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, breath of heaven.
I'm going to read this poem, When Christmas Finds You Anyway. Kind of resonated with me, and it might resonate with some of you. Some years, Christmas doesn't look the way you pictured. The house is quieter, the table feels smaller, and life has written chapters you never meant to read. But somehow, Christmas finds you anyway. It slips in through the soft glow of the tree, through the smell of something warm in the oven, through a memory that catches you off guard and makes your eyes fill with tears. It finds you in the people who stayed, in the strength you didn't know you had, in the way your heart keeps learning how to break and still stay open. It finds you in the simple things, a mug in your hands, a blanket over your knees, a song you haven't heard in years that somehow knows your whole story. Because Christmas isn't always loud or glittery or full. Sometimes it's gentle. Sometimes it's healing. Sometimes it's a light that shows up right when you needed reminding that you're not walking alone this season. So if this year looks different, if you're grieving or rebuilding or learning how to begin again, I hope Christmas finds you anyway. And I hope it brings you peace to the places that still hurt and warmth to the places that feel cold.
So, have you ever received or have you ever given a sacred gift to someone? What is a sacred gift? Well, sacred gifts are those things that bring us awe and respect. In religious traditions, something sacred can be considered something of the divine force beyond one's self. Some people call the sacred God or goddess or Gaia or love or science. A sacred gift, then, is something beyond oneself that serves a higher purpose. A sacred gift can be given or received by people. I think the fact that we humans exist here on this planet, in this time and in this moment, is a sacred gift we have been given by the universe. Our very existence here on this planet is sacred. Has the universe or the earth given you sacred gifts of awe and or respect? Has a person or place given you a sacred gift? Have you given a sacred gift to someone or something? Tonight, we will be opening the sacred gifts of Christmas. And we opened one sacred gift already during the Time for All Ages. We opened the gift of refuge. I would consider giving or receiving the gift of refuge, shelter, and safety to be sacred because as humans, all of us, no matter what, deserve a safe place to lay our heads at night. This human right to safety and shelter is indeed a human right that is sacred. So many people we know in this world are experiencing the lack of shelter and safety. The UN's Refugee Agency estimates that 117.3 million people had been forced to flee their homes globally due to persecution, conflict, violence, human rights violations, or even events seriously disturbing public order. To put these numbers on a scale that we can grasp, this means more than 1 in every 70 people on this planet have been forced to flee. Some of these refugees have also lost their homes due to the ongoing climate crisis. As these crises get worse, more humans will be displaced. And it is up to all of us to think about how we can give the sacred gift of refuge to those in crisis. I know during the fires here in Los Alamos County, some of you all were given the gift of refuge when you needed to escape the fires. Some of you were given longer refuge after losing your home. The story of Christmas is a story about seeking, receiving, and giving refuge, as we see with the story of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The story of Christmas is about giving refuge and safety to those who are the most vulnerable in this world, which includes newborn babies. So let's open our second sacred gift of Christmas tonight. Let's see, what is it? I mean, I know, y'all don't though. The gift of new life and light. The magic of Christmas reminds us of the sacredness of a child being born, new life in this world. The magic of Christmas also reminds us that there is indeed hope and light in the darkness. We are all here gathered tonight to celebrate the sacred light that remains in the darkness. We know that Christmas not only celebrates the Christian story of Jesus' birth, but is a Christian holiday that was purposely made to overlap with the pagan solstice celebrations in Europe, in which we celebrate the return of the light after the longest night of the season. Light is what gives us life. Without our magnificent sun star, we and other life on this planet would not be able to survive. Tonight, I like to celebrate the sacred gift of light that comes from our sun. I also find meaning in the Christian story of a baby being born in turbulent times and the sacred duty of parents to care for new life. The anthem song that you just heard me sing, Breath of Heaven, celebrates the sacredness of a child being born in dark and violent times, under oppression, under struggle and uncertainty. The song voices the Mother Mary's struggle and questions. You can sympathize and empathize with Mary in this song. Mary literally loses her breath mid-song when she says, "Help me be." To me, this song is powerful and sacred and has been since my childhood. It is a song about the journey of parenthood and the uncertainties that arise. It is a song crying out to something beyond oneself, asking for help in a dark time. It is a song about new life and looking for the light. One of the most radical and sacred acts of hope that we as people can do for one another and animals on our earth is be a caretaker. We can care for the life of a child. We can care for the life of our aging loved one. We can care for a family member or a friend in need. We can care for plants and pets. Caretaking brings people and our world light in the darkness. Caretaking can guide new life. New life and light are sacred gifts that are given to us and are sacred gifts for us to give to others during this holiday season and throughout the year. Protecting and caring for life should take priority over everything else in our lives. What new life and light will you be bringing with you into the new year? So let's open our third gift. Our third sacred gift for this Christmas season and this holiday season is joy. What brings you joy? We have been asking this question a lot in our worship services this year. We even had you all write down during our water communion service in September the things that give you joy. You can read those up there. Here they are again. Elizabeth made that awesome little Canva doc. Thank you. These are just a few of the things that give us joy in our lives. Why do we keep asking the question, what brings you joy in your life? because we know that our joy cannot and should not be taken away from us. There's a song I like to sing. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. So tapping into our joy is indeed a sacred gift of Christmas. There is joy in a new baby being born. There is joy in finding refuge and a safe place to land, or giving someone a safe place to land. There is joy in caring for another person. There is joy in a consensual hug. There is joy in holding hands. There is indeed joy in the journey and adventure of life, with all of the ups and downs. There's joy in being wrapped up in a warm blanket and feeling safe. There's joy in marshmallows and hot chocolate and cookies right after the service. There is indeed joy in gift giving and receiving. When you see the joy on someone's face after you give them a gift, that joy brings you joy. One joyful tradition that our family had and that my dad would do during the Christmas time was his stocking stuffer themes. So one year he went to Office Depot, and that was his stocking stuffer theme, right? All the office supplies that you could have in your stocking. Another one was when they were living in Florida, went to all of the tacky tourist shops and bought little tacky gifts like a highlighter orange dyed starfish or something. And then another year, he wrapped up all of our stuff, which we had left there at their house in boxes, like our old report cards. So now I want to continue carrying that joy into our family celebrations and traditions. We just sang Joy to the World in the beginning of the service because joy is one of these sacred gifts of Christmas. Can you imagine if the whole world could tap into their joy, how awesome our world would be, right? Woo. So that is our third sacred gift. And now to our fourth. Our fourth sacred gift is the gift of community. Later in Jesus' life, when he was teaching and preaching, he taught people about what an inclusive, just, and equitable community could look like and be like. Christmas reminds us that it is through community that we are able to find refuge, new light, and new life, and joy. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also taught us about beloved community based upon the teachings of Jesus in the New Testament. Martin Luther King would preach about the beloved community being a community where all people are respected, cared for, and treated as equals. A beloved community where there is no space for injustice, prejudice, or discrimination. Rather, it is a space for economic and social justice, peaceful conflict resolution, and the reconciliation of humanity. That is the beloved community. The beloved community is another sacred gift of Christmas. Could you imagine your life without community? I know I couldn't. Isolation can kill us. In religious educator and spiritual enrichment trainings, we Unitarian Universalists are taught that the community is the curriculum. meaning learning isn't just from a textbook, but emerges from the collective knowledge, experiences, and connections within a group. This community is the curriculum for all of our learning and growth. If I hadn't had a good community upbringing in a church context, I probably wouldn't be here right now working in this church institution and preaching right now. Everything we do here in community with one another is a learning experience and helps us grow. So I will let you in on a little secret. I dislike doing things by myself. I would much rather have company in the work I do here at church and even in adventuring and journeying through life. Yes, I can still have fun by myself, and sometimes it's necessary for me to be alone, like when writing a sermon, but I do love having company and a community. I love what we are building here. I love the values we share together, and remember that one of the sacred gifts we can give each other this Christmas is indeed the gift of community. After this sermon, we will engage in a sacred act of community through the ritual of communion. More will be explained about this ritual at that time. This community, you all, are a very sacred gift in my life. Thank you for building up the beloved community. And last, but not least, our final sacred gift of Christmas. The gift of love. The true meaning of Christmas is rooted in love. As Unitarian Universalists, all of our shared values are centered in love. If Mary and Joseph hadn't loved their baby boy, we may not have had the example of Jesus and all of his radical love teachings in our human history. Just like Jesus, our UU faith's love is inclusive of all. Whenever folks ask me what I believe about the divine or God or goddess, I answer with, I believe in a divine energy and force that to me is love. A love force. Another Martin Luther King Jr. quote that I like is, love is the only force that can transform hate. The sacred gift of Christmas is love. Love for a child that is born, love for humans escaping violence, war, climate crisis, and oppression, love for the joy of life, love for communities we are a part of. The last message my dad wanted to convey to all of us as a family was, I love you. He said it on repeat and would call it out from the bedroom while resting when the rest of the family was still eating at the table. I love you. I love you, Dad. We would call back. This became his mantra at the end of his life, and he wanted to make sure everyone he came in contact with knew it. He even would say it to some of his caregivers coming in. Love is indeed a sacred gift. As my dad was nearing the end of his life after battling brain cancer, my brother, sister-in-law, mom, and niece were all planning to have a sleepover at my mom's house once my dad had passed. My dad passed in the morning hours of the day, and my niece was at her preschool. She was 4 years old at the time and was told that Gramps had died when she got done with preschool. They also read with her a great book for younger kiddos called Something Very Sad Happened. Then they told my niece that they would all be having a slumber party and would be sleeping at Nana's tonight. My niece hadn't ever had a slumber party in her life yet, and in her innocent joy excitedly yelled, "This is the best day ever!" My niece felt love for her family. She felt joy. She felt safe. She also may have felt sadness when she learned about her Gramps' death, but she felt the community of love and family surrounding her. And I know her Gramps, my dad, would have appreciated her sentiment of feeling love surrounding her. My dad wouldn't have wanted it any other way. During my ordination here at this church, Reverend John Cullinan, the previous minister here, gave me sound advice for my ministry work. He said, "Love the people, love the people, love the people." Well, hey, you know what? I do indeed love all of you. I love this community. I love our beautiful planet. I love the sacred gifts we are reminded to give to one another this holiday season and throughout our lives. We are indeed a people of love. That is the good news of Christmas and this holiday season. That love and light will continue shining brightly in our world, no matter what. Another quote I love is from Bell Hooks. "The practice of love is the most powerful antidote to the politics of domination." Let us go out on this Christmas Eve, receiving and giving these sacred gifts of refuge, new life and light, joy, community, and love to all who we may encounter during this holiday season and forevermore. Amen. May it be so. Is it on? Okay. So I'm joined by the Reverend Sam Lanham. Thank you. Sorry. Today for our Christmas Eve communion time. So today we are celebrating the sacred gifts of this holiday season. One of the gifts mentioned today is the gift of community. In this vein of honoring the community of which we are a part, we also want to honor the communities of our ancestors, our Unitarian Universalist faith tradition, and our religious history. I'm also grateful to have another minister colleague here with me, Reverend Sam Lanham, who is a retired Presbyterian Church USA minister, who will be assisting me as we enter into the ritual of communion together this evening. The custom of communion comes down to us over 4,000 years in various forms with differing interpretations. Yet regardless of the culture, the custom holds one common vital meaning. It has always been a ritual act of community, of solidarity with one's human siblings. It has always been a symbolic gesture whereby humans have affirmed their concern and friendship for each other as a caring community of human beings, with mutual tasks, with common joys and sorrows. It is in this very broad sense of communion with each other that I invite you to partake of bread and grape juice together on this Christmas Eve. Our Unitarian Universalist history has roots in Christianity and the Christian Reformation. Our Unitarian Universalist history also looks to the many moral exemplars throughout history and our modern day existence. One of these moral exemplars being Jesus Christ of Nazareth, a teacher, a preacher, and a Jewish man born over 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, in what is now the West Bank of Palestine. Here in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we are open to your interpretation of who Jesus was and whether or not you follow his example or believe him to be a holy and sacred person. Those theological beliefs or your non-theological beliefs are up to you to decide for yourself. We are not here to convert you either way, and we embrace each individual's free and responsible search for truth and meaning around what might be sacred and holy in your life during this holiday season and throughout the year. Some of you might find comfort in the Christian rituals during Christmas, and some of you might not. Whatever your image of the holy and wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here in our community that loves beyond belief. And now Reverend Sam will share some background about this communion ritual.
Jesus was born in a time of a narcissistic ruler. And the narcissistic ruler of that day was called Herod. He did not want his power to be taken away. Certainly not by a baby, even if that baby was prophesied to be the king of the Jews. So Herod threatened to kill Jesus right after his birth. And we saw some of the story of that earlier. Mary, Joseph, and the newborn baby Jesus escaped to Egypt as refugees. They fled for their lives. The three of them would all later return to the region of Galilee near Nazareth. It was here that Jesus would begin his ministry of teaching. He taught about peace. He taught about love. He taught about justice. He taught how to be a good neighbor. Jesus included all people, tax collectors, the sick, the homeless, and sinners of all varieties. Jesus taught his followers how to be community, how to be people of a community of love, inclusive of everyone, no matter what. Jesus and his community of disciples shared bread and wine together at their last meal before Jesus was killed by the corrupt Roman government. For Jesus and his followers, these elements shared had, because they were Jewish, an additional significance. They were shared during the Passover, a ritual time where Jewish people remembered the liberation of the Hebrews from slavery and bondage in Egypt, and they commemorated that time every year. As Jesus presented the bread and the cup, he said, "Eat this bread, drink this cup in remembering me." Jesus used the bread and the wine as symbols of liberation, of sacrifice, for connection with all people in the way. And tonight we are invited to ponder our connections as one human family as we share this gift.
So however you choose to symbolize and celebrate this communion time is up to you. You can even remain in your seat if you would like and not partake. This act of communion tonight is one of celebrating the sacred gift of community and our Unitarian Universalist heritage rooted in the Christian tradition. We are the sermon because we are the community. Even in the face of corrupt governments, people throughout history have overcome this corruption by remaining in community together with one another. This is another reason why we are celebrating the sacred gift of community tonight. on Christmas Eve and with the sharing of communion. We lift up the lives of those people throughout history who have fought against oppression and injustice, which includes the life and example of Jesus, along with many others, including Mary and Joseph, who also escaped death and persecution. We also celebrate the sacred gift of new life and light. Let us join together in this act of communion, remembering with gratitude all that gives us life.
Remember, what we do here is a ritual act of sharing, and that in coming together to worship, we join with our human siblings of every race and every religion, for those who even have no religion. For what we seek is meaning in the mystery. Our quest for what is worthy of our profoundest awe. We give it many names, but the sense that we are part of a far larger and inconceivably vaster whole is a feeling common to us all.
This is the bread of the earth, that which gives us life. Let us break bread together in a common commitment to the task of making the earth a more peaceful, safe, and abundant place for all of us to live.
And this is the fruit of the earth, that which gives us life. Let us share this cup together in friendship, in love, and in community, and in our concern for each other and for all.
Tonight, in this communion ritual, you were invited to come forward and take a piece of bread. There's gluten-free and non-gluten-free over here. So you're invited to take a piece of either or, whichever you need, and dip it into the cup, which is filled with grape juice, not wine. Also, to be accessibly inclusive, if you would like the elements to be brought to you at your seat, please raise your hand, and we will bring you the elements after all the people have processed forward. So please take, again, whatever significance you need from this ritual for your holiday season as we celebrate together the sacred gift of community. And as you come up during this ritual time, we will also be singing together a beautiful hymn with a beautiful message for our Christmas Eve communion. The hymn does have the word God in it, so please interpret how you need to the word God for your own set of beliefs or non-beliefs. And Kathy and Nylea will start the hymn instrumentally, and then our choir ensemble will sing the first verse and refrain, and then you as the congregation are invited to join in singing the first verse along with the others that follow. So let us join in this communion time now together. through all the trials of the year ahead, when we are tempted to reject, to mistrust, to turn away from our human siblings, let us remember this hour when we broke bread together, ate and drank together, and thus pledged ourselves as friends, as members of a beloved community. And now let us go out singing our candlelight song together, Silent Night. So please get your candles ready for lighting. So let us go out today celebrating the many sacred gifts that we are able to give and receive. May it be so, and Merry Christmas. And now let us join together in cookie reception and marshmallows and hot chocolate.